Hello and welcome to the Bob Box. 182 episodes ago, I know, that long ago, I talked about T-Rex, a spinner of the full body persuasion that could have made its first appearance in Series 3 of Robot Wars instead of Series 7. However, T-Rex had to withdraw. But it did withdraw, and someone had to be put in the drawer to replace T-Rex. Now, who would that lucky robot be? Well, of course, Steg-O-Saw-Us. Who better to replace a dinosaur, a bot named after a dinosaur, than a bot named after a dinosaur? Steg-O-Saw-Us was a green box wedge with a total of 4 wedges. That, and that. At the rear end, the bit with the wedges like that, it had a lifter as a tail, and also red spines all over the top, like a Steg-O-Saw-Us. Needless to say, the lifter was rather high up off the ground. Well, actually no, it is needed to say, but the lifter was high up off the ground, so Steg-O-Saw-Us was more of a rammer than it was a lifter. Needless to say, and this is needless to say this time, Steg-O-Saw-Us made his debut in Series 3 of Robot Wars, landing in Heat G, which is where it drew Aurak's Revenge, an Axebot. Steg-O-Saw-Us took a little while to get going, and as a result it got axed, but that just woke Steg-O-Saw-Us up, and it rammed Aurak's Revenge into a wall, getting axed all the while. Steg-O-Saw-Us rammed Aurak's Revenge to a few walls before releasing the Axebot. The next ram Steg-O-Saw-Us got sent Aurak's Revenge into the pit. And even there, Aurak's Revenge was not safe from the house robots. Next up for Steg-O-Saw-Us was Spikebot Henry. Steg-O-Saw-Us went right for Henry early on, a task made easy by Henry taking a while to get moving. Henry eventually started moving, so it wasn't completely dead. And Steg-O-Saw-Us sent Henry in the vague direction of Dead Metal's corner. This didn't go quite according to plan. Steg-O-Saw-Us got stuck on the flame pit. It did escape, so no cooked dinosaur. And Henry ran away to Sergeant Bash's corner. Just a reminder that robot driving is not as easy as it looks. Henry escaped from Sergeant Bash only to drive into Shunt's corner. And get a good old axing for its trouble. Once Henry was free from Shunt, Steg-O-Saw-Us rammed Henry into a wall, so the house robots attacked Henry as Cease was called. That put Henry out. They put Steg-O-Saw-Us through to the heat final, where they faced mandible-ramming bot Napalm. After a tentative opening to the battle, Steg-O-Saw-Us rammed Napalm into Shunt's corner twice. After the first time, Napalm tried to escape, and Steg-O-Saw-Us kept ramming Napalm, doing some actual damage to its armour. Not that Napalm was keen on this idea of giving up anytime soon. It pushed Steg-O-Saw-Us into a wall. Cue an attack by the house robots. Steg-O-Saw-Us escaped and rammed Napalm into a wall again, repeatedly. These rams ultimately sent Napalm to Sir Kill-A-Lot. Napalm got out, but it got rammed until time ran out. However, Napalm was still trying to attack despite it not looking at its healthiest. Of course, the judges were called in, and Steg-O-Saw-Us won the resulting judges' decision. So that meant Steg-O-Saw-Us was through to the series semi-finals. where it first faced front-hinged flipper Gravedigger. At this point, Steg-O-Saw-Us' team had been writing the names of their victims on Steg-O-Saw-Us and crossing them out to show that they'd beaten them. The team were now worried that they might run out of room on Steg-O-Saw-Us' lifter to write these names, and they might have to write somewhere else on the robot. Steg-O-Saw-Us got off to a bit of a slow start. It decided to evade Gravedigger. Gravedigger gave Steg-O-Saw-Us a slight push, but Steg-O-Saw-Us got away. It was a little while before the two came in contact again, but Steg-O-Saw-Us pushed Gravedigger before Gravedigger got itself into a better position to push Steg-O-Saw-Us, and pushed the dinosaur bot. And Steg-O-Saw-Us had a dinosaur's theme, as evidenced by its name, into Sir Killbot. Gravedigger then tried to flip Steg-O-Saw-Us over, which would have ended the fight, but Steg-O-Saw-Us stayed on its wheels. So Steg-O-Saw-Us escaped and pushed Gravedigger. However, Gravedigger got away and did some more pushing. It ended up being a bit like a dance, with the two going around each other. Robot Tango was more pushing. Steg-O-Saw-Us got away and got pushed into a wall, first of all, and nearly flipped again, but once again it stayed on its wheels. Matilda showed up and pushed Gravedigger away, and Steg-O-Saw-Us caught up with Gravedigger and pushed them again. In fact, they only took a break when Shunt split the two robots up, and only stopped altogether when time ran out on the battle. Once again, the judges were called in, and Steg-O-Saw-Us won the resulting decision. Next up for them was Wedge-Sawbot, Beast of Bodmin, the successor of Roadblock, the Series 1 champion. Steg-O-Saw-Us went around Beast of Bodmin, but Beast of Bodmin elected to push Steg-O-Saw-Us around, they having been a much bigger robot. Steg-O-Saw-Us got away and pushed Beast of Bodmin before they got away again. After pushing Beast of Bodmin into a wall, Steg-O-Saw-Us rammed Beast of Bodmin, which sent Beast of Bodmin into Shunt. Shunt got the axe out and put holes in Beast of Bodmin. Beast of Bodmin was dead at this point too. They flew air floor flipper, and Steg-O-Saw-Us was in the grand final. And once again, going into the grand final, they were worried that they'd run out of room on their robot on the lifter for another name. They reckoned that if they won their next fight and got into the final, they were at this point 2 fights away from winning the whole thing, they might be able to fit H-Disc on. You see, Steg-O-Saw-Us faced horizontal flywheel wielder Hypnodisc. Of course, that flywheel spins. Steg-O-Saw-Us rammed Hypnodisc's rear end early on, and after Hypnodisc nearly drove into Matilda's corner, rammed Hypnodisc's side, though they did take a hit from the disc in the process. Steg-O-Saw-Us then had to dodge the house robots twice. It also tried to dodge Hypnodisc, but it wasn't so successful in that it got a gash down the side for its trouble. Steg-O-Saw-Us went for some defiant rams, sending Hypnodisc disc first into a wall, which stopped the disc, though it started up again and dealt out more hits until Steg-O-Saw-Us ultimately died. It was too damaged for a 3rd, 4th place playoff, but ultimately they ended up coming joint 3rd. I will explain why in Firestorm's episode. Still, Steg-O-Saw-Us was a reserve. It could have just as easily gone through Series 3 and not had a fight at all. It could have just been in the Pinball Warrior tournament or the robotic soccer. But it was in the tournament proper. And it came from third. What a journey. And of course, its team would be back in Series 4 with a new robot. Still with a dino theme, but this time a flipper, Steg 2. Steg-O-Saw-Us was essentially Tornado before Tornado came along. It rammed its way to the grand final and had a lot of power and caused quite a fair bit of damage as well. I mean, how Napalm kept going is anyone's guess. Obviously, being reserves lucky to be in the tournament at all, they were always underdogs, which makes them easy to root for. Well, unless they're fighting a robot you like what they did in the grand final. Sorry about that. However, Steg-O-Saw-Us went down fighting. It took a lot to take them down. And that was the case with their future robots as well. It would take something pretty special to beat them. Anyway, will it take something special to beat next week's robot? Or next week's robot be something special in and of itself? Well, this one flew out, and so did that one, but I saw that one fly out first, so this one is the one I'm picking. Let's see what it is. Oh, you like fire? Because we've got Nemesis next week. Until next week, Carlson244, out.